MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show, the show for all our wonderful entrepreneurs out there making a life, making a living, making a legacy out of this thing called entrepreneurship. And in studio with us today, we've got Lukhanyo Dyosopu. He's the founder, the MD, the CEO, the doorstopper, the dishwasher of Out-of-Home Marketplace. Let's take a look.
My name is Lukhanyo Dyosopu. We are the Uber equivalent of outdoor advertising. So Out-of-Home is basically all your billboards, your signages, the stickers on the buses and the taxis. It's any type of advertisement that happens outside the home. So my business then basically took an old method, which is manual, of acquiring these billboards and basically just compressed it into a digital platform. It entails the supplier and the buyer interacting online, and which is why it's called a marketplace. We launched it initially with just the agency buyers and the billboard owners, which is media owners, who just basically get aggregated on the platform. And then once they've been approved, then their assets are free of use and visible to the buyers, and makes it quite easy for someone who's not from Joburg to trade with a Joburg-based company whilst in the Eastern Cape. It speaks to also empowering the smaller players who don't have large scale, of assets to sell. So they might have like 3 billboards compared to a bigger player who's got 15,000. I formed this company in 2016. The growth was then when we started launching the product with an actual client, which is an agency. And by that time, we were sitting on maybe 10 or 12 suppliers. And to date, we have over 65 suppliers on the system. There's a particular secondary platform that I've got, right? And I've partnered with South African Local Government Association called SALGA. And what we're trying to do is enhance the value of billboards. So just here in Johannesburg, about 80 to 90% of the billboards are technically illegal, meaning that they're not compliant to what municipality requires them to. And these are underwritten through bylaws. So I have basically put together a program that could get that process efficiently done on a digital platform like my platform. That is reaching other markets in its infancy. But in the greater scheme of things, you find some of the media owners that are in South Africa have assets in your SADC regions and as far as your East and West Africa regions. So how do we then, adopt my platform, which is the Out-of-Home Marketplace, in those markets? So that to me is one of my big visions and my dreams. Like any small business, you don't have 20 people to segregate functionalities to, right? So then I have to grow out of my shell, an introvert, and become a salesperson on one day. And then the next minute, I must be the guy assisting a media owner, hanging a banner. And then tomorrow, I must sit in front of my laptop and just get cracking. I always look at resourcing the company with labor, right? I always think, who takes more priority? Is it a technical person or is it a salesperson? So those questions give me endless sleepless nights, right? And I'm constantly asking, what do I need to do? Do I still become the salesperson and then come home and be the developer? Those are the challenges of any small business, is how to scale it. But more importantly, how to reach other markets. And to me, that's one of my biggest dreams right now, is to reach other markets.
Welcome to the Big Small Business Show.
Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you.
Right. So we spoke about all those roles, but how many staff do you actually have in the business?
So currently, I'm working by myself. I do
Right.
have a person who assists me with technical work because it does get quite exorbitant for me.
What does that mean? Coding.
Coding primarily, yes.
Okay.
So far now, the focus is technical work because there's new features being developed.
You spoke about having quite a number of clients. I think it was 65, if I remember, or 65. How do you get your clients?
Well, depends how you look at it. They're not generally clients. The system on its own is a conduit for other suppliers to access other markets. So what I say when I say 65, it means that there's 65 plus media owners on the platform that supply the out-of-home services and leasing of properties. In other words, billboards. So technically what they do, what they represent is the number of clients that
Okay, so they're suppliers, right?
Yes.
And then who's the buyer?
So an advertising agency
is the buyer.
Yes, who's basically representing a brand. That's the buyer.
And your value proposition is that somebody from another locale, let's say Durban or East London, who's wanting to buy some sort of outdoor media in Johannesburg or Northern Cape
100%.
would be able to see what's available and what stock is available and the pricing.
That's the main point.
Okay.
Yes. It's centralizing and democratizing the whole environment so that you don't have to fly around and drive around and source these things. You can just get them online.
So how does the business make money? Where's your margin made? Or who are you charging money to?
Yeah. So what we do is that the platform is free for use, right? So we're not charging any licensing. Where we get our money is based on the fee that we charge for the services. So upon a contract being signed, that's when we start billing the supplier.
The supplier?
Yes.
So, okay, so explain that to me. So I've got 10 billboards and I basically load them on your platform
100%.
for free.
For free.
And then what services would you provide me?
So what we have is a plethora of agencies who go onto the platform. So we've already aggregated those agencies. So we've got into business with them and they're using our portal to secure billboards. So also in return, the agency gets a vetted supplier. So we vet the suppliers. We make sure that they've got the correct documentations and the compliance. And then what we do, because we've offered that conduit, we charge a fee. And it's technically just to keep
the supplier.
Yes.
Okay.
It's no different to what Uber's doing. Because remember, Uber, you buy your own car.
Yeah.
And because you're using the software for free, I book a Uber. I pay 100 rands to Uber, but Uber pays the driver a fee less, whatever their percentage is.
Okay. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, I've got more questions for Lukhanyo, so stay tuned.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.